In this lesson video, I'm going to describe the most basic op-amp circuit, the comparator. It's the most basic because it uses an open loop, which means that the output is not connected onto the input. So let's see how it works. So the op-amp will have infinite gain because it's an open loop. We'll always assume ideal behavior unless we're told otherwise. Now I've talked about gain, but gain of what exactly? I've also said that the op-amp works to make V plus and V minus equal. The potential at the non-inverting input is equal to the potential at the inverting input. Now these come together because what happens as the op-amp is trying to get V plus and V minus the same, it amplifies the difference between them. It's kind of like a side effect of that effort to make them equal. The output is the difference between V plus and V minus multiplied by the gain. If V plus is 5 volts and V minus is 5 volts, the output will be 0. This is because the difference is 0 and 0 multiplied by any number is 0. If the potential at the non-inverting input V plus is 5 volts and at the inverting input V minus it's 4 volts, the output will be positive and very large. This is because the difference is 1 volt and 1 multiplied by infinite gain is infinity. Back to that again in a moment. If V plus is 5 volts and V minus is 6 volts, the output will be negative and very large. This is because the difference is 1 volt, V minus is more positive than V plus, and 1 multiplied by infinite gain is infinity. Okay, so infinite output is going to be a problem because it breaks the laws of physics, maybe all of them. So we don't get infinite, obviously. Remember I said before that we should consider the left and right sides of the op-amp separately? Well, the op-amp is monitoring the left side, so then the right is providing an output. Well, on this diagram, the right side is connected to a -9 to +9 volt power supply. So the output will saturate at plus or minus 9 volts. If the op-amp tries to output more than 9 volts, we just get 9 volts. This circuit is called a comparator because it simply compares the two inputs and gives an output of either 9 volts or minus 9 volts. Well, you could get 0 output if the two inputs were exactly the same, but this is pretty much impossible. Think about this as an example. If V minus was 0 volts and V plus was 1 nanovolt, the output would be 1 times 10 to the minus 9 multiplied by the gain, which is infinity. So the output would theoretically be infinity, but it's going to get saturated at 9 volts. So this is going to be useful as an indicator to tell if something is on or off, for example. It'll also be useful because it's the simplest op-amp circuit, so now you know how to use one. With this circuit, you should have developed a decent understanding of op-amp theory and how we can actually make use of an op-amp. In the following lesson videos, I'm going to look at feedback and real amplifier circuits. It's going to get a bit more complicated, so make sure you understand the properties of an ideal op-amp, understand how this circuit works before we move on.